tune, flow sinister. I'ma finish him. Many men gon' need ministers. I'm a men in them. Enemies, I'm the enema. I'ma on them just like my keys drop my on a dinner work. My thoughts I keep confidential. It's consequential. Philosophies.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48. Built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, it's a black and blue matchup in the NFC North between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. The Florida Atlantic man, Greg Joseph, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lambeau. Taken at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Rodgers going to the air to start things out. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. Finding room at midfield. The 20. Touchdown, Packers. First play from scrimmage all the way into the end zone. And look, the pass was good, but that run after the catch, that's what was really impressive.
And I think the big question I have is, where were the safeties? Where was the tackling? Because going into this game, they had to know that they were going to be tested. That was a part of the defense that had to stand up. And on that play, not even close.
Crosby with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They start the drive with Cook. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Play action now. Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A gain there of 21 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Credit the defense there to Quay Walker, getting behind the line of scrimmage before they could rip off any sort of a gain. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Cousins now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Cousins. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, a pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14, and he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
The Packers at 9-6 now. But they've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak. And right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the Packers who won that game on the road, so they'll be trying to win the season series here at home in Lambeau. 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick six.
Joseph connects on the extra point,
and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one goes for 24 yards. On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400.
And playing with great confidence, isn't he? I think he probably had it coming into the game, and now that he's really come out of the gate this strongly, how'd you like to be in the huddle with him right now? You know he's demanding the football. And guess what? I throw it to him. He's having a fantastic game, and they haven't defended him yet.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
This defense for the Vikings, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And every defensive team that we talk to, They spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
On play action, Rodgers. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Daniil Hunter in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up 1st and goal.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because Cover was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense. And they were there to help force the incompletion.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Here's a give up the middle. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Here we go on 4th down. And he didn't get there. Knocked backwards to the 2-yard line. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Out of his end zone, Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. Cousins gives way to Cook. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and weighing in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
(7-7) our score after 1. from just shy of midfield. Cousins. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
On third down, Cousins. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a fourth down. So on fourth down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. This will be fielded at the 17. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive, because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on fourth down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a fourth down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
On play action, it's Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 51 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on first and goal to add some extra mass. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
That's good power football on first and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Now Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Romeo Doubs with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Packers have moved out in front. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes the score 14-7. The touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. Now Cook hit, and he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. Quick hitter here. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 5. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Cousins. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 24 yards.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
On 2nd down, here's Nwangu. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try the wide side with Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line. Solid effort by Jair Alexander there defensively.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. To throw is Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards on the play.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the 1st half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Throwing is Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. A big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the 2nd quarter, 14-7. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Joseph's got it. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Taking it about the 1. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he's out of bounds, but not before getting across the 50 to the 45.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game, for here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides, but to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
88.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Throwing now is Rodgers.
He's got Tunyon complete over the middle.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 20-yard line. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now the defense going to use the 1st of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Four yards remain for 2nd down.
Rodgers now to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And the Packers will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Cousins to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So coming up empty here to start the third quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jordan Hicks, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. To try again after the sack, Rodgers. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play, but sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one, not to have another turnover on his ledger.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
3rd and long for Cousins. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just scared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded at about the 28. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can tempt to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
On second down, they'll run it here.
And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Now it's Rodgers.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
And it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Following the interception, Cousins. His throw incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over it that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing, Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's good for 28 yards.
If your sympathies lie with the defense, you understand how tough it is for linebackers to run with a guy like this. He's going to slip out of the backfield and then work in the middle of the field. And sometimes those defenders get preoccupied with other people moving, and he finds open space and makes a nice play.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Coming right, this is Cook on the toss play. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Cousins. And it's caught. Touchdown. Adam Thielen. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are back within a score.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. 2nd and 5 now. Rodgers.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum the other side is starting to gain.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete.
And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. To throw is Rodgers. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Third quarter action here in this regular season finale. This will be 2nd and 10.
Now a handoff running through the middle.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. Throwing is Rodgers.
He finds Watson complete.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, these Packers and these Packer fans really thrive in the cold temperatures here at Lambeau. And their guys have the lead here with 1st and 10.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
52 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches.
And the Packers are going to have it 1st and goal as he'll take this down to about the 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
I think they tried to fool him on that one. You know, being able to throw the ball to the fullback position. No one was fooled on that play.
No, lost yardage. You think they should yank that one from the playbook, at least for the time being?
I think what you do is you take it out and you evaluate it next week in practice.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Rodgers going to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive. Stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On the toss, here's Nwangu. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. Now Cousins. Looking middle, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Cook up the gut. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Nwangu going to get it on the counter. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Back to Nwangu again on 1st down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
On 1st down, they'll run with Nwangu. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Here's Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, this drive, they're 2 for 2 on third down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
And that's off the right upright. Thought it might sneak in, but it did not. It's no good. And the deficit will stay at 2 field goals. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound, Brandon, no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
They'll begin the drive with a run by Dillon. And he'll get this to the 32.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers running right through it. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. That's complete right around the 8. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. A gain of 8 there on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Now Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
There's a reason the number 4 was flashing through my mind when he let that one go. 3 touchdowns already in his back pocket. The deep ball's been a great weapon for him in this one. Unfortunately, empty on that attempt.
It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Oh, I know it goes against the grain here. It totally goes against it, but you've got to drop the ball in that situation. He makes a catch, but he loses yards and doesn't get out of bounds.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Cousins to throw. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Now Cousins. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. They got the dramatic score to tie the game here late 4th quarter. Now all eyes resting on the foot of one man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Your brother called me before the game. That's his guy in fantasy. He needs this one badly.
And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Back to throw, Rodgers.
He's got the hook up with Dobbs.
And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. What a throw right there for the first down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike and that big pickup?
To throw is Rodgers.
Catch made by Watson on the out route. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. What a game we were treated to in this one. And then on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting into midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So for the Vikings,
they get back to 500 at 8-8 with one game remaining.